Welcome everybody. I'm Sam Rasoul, running for United States House of Representatives here in the 6th Congressional District. And I wanted to make one distinction real quick before I get started for a couple of minutes. Make sure it's John McSame and not McSam or anything there. We don't want to have anybody confusing the two. With your help, we're going to have, as you can see, a Democratic president. You all know that John Warner's well on his way out. Mark Warner's well on his way in. We will have a governor and 2 senators that are Democrat. That's something to be proud of. And we're very, very happy to see all of these wonderful, wonderful volunteers that have come out to try to make sure that hopefully I can be the next member of Congress here in the 6th District. Now, what do you think I'm going to talk to you tonight about? What do all of the candidates want to talk to you about? Change. Change. Change is the buzzword, right? Change is what we need. Change is what we're looking for. Well, the neat thing is that as a younger candidate, people believe that by default I represent change because I'm a new, fresh face that brings ideas, and they also believe that they're honest ideas. They believe as a younger candidate that I'm not corrupt because the system hasn't corrupted me yet. They think eventually I'll be corrupt, but for now, they believe what I have to say. So 2 things, honesty and change, are what people are looking for, and as a younger candidate, that's what they get. And that's why we're able to share some words. But let me tell you the danger of this change buzzword that's going around. Change is very empty. Change is an empty rhetoric without action. Action is what we should be searching for, not just change. We need to take action to save the environment. We need to take action to provide health care for every man, woman, and child across America. We need to take action to give back wealth to middle America. Let me tell you a little story about change. I grew up here in Roanoke County and Roanoke County, but of course many of you know I graduated from Roanoke College in Salem, but I always played basketball. That's my favorite sport is basketball. And I used to come into Roanoke City to play basketball. My father had a business here in Roanoke City, so just a few minutes away I'd go to Preston Park, which is kind of in the inner city next to Breckenridge Middle School right off Williamson Road. That's where I grew up playing basketball. That's where I have this lovely scar above my eye. That's where that's from. It's from Preston Park, playing some basketball. I was 13, and I went to the park on Sunday. Sunday's family day. The basketball courts are full of families, people just watching the games. You've got all of the, we call them ballers, come out. They come out on Sunday, and there's one guy who's the tallest guy I know in Roanoke. He's about 7 feet tall, and he's there every Sunday. He was there every Sunday. And at the age of 13, I still remember it vividly because I enjoyed it. They finished the game, and he was taking a break, and he laid down. And when they were getting ready to start up the next game, he was still laying down. So they went over and started nudging him, and he was unconscious. So everyone started crowding around him. I would guess there was probably 100 people there. And I was one of them, and not one of us touched him. Here's a man who's unconscious right in front of us, and not one of us touched him. Change taught me CPR. By the age of 13, I knew CPR. But here's a man who died, and no one touched him. Why? Because no one took action. From that moment, I realized that because of my lack of action, or the inaction, my irresponsibility, I may have cost a man his life. This is the danger that we face right now in America. We need not change, we need to take action. We need to take action for our children. We need to take action for Middle America. We need to take action for the Roanoke County employee that I met that gets paid $7 an hour, and her furnace busted, and she needed a new furnace, and she couldn't afford it. So some group of people got together and took action, raised $2,000 and bought her a new furnace. We need to take action here in Roanoke City. The lady had to choose between buying a prescription and paying for through-the-roof property taxes that have increased. We need to take action for these people. So when people are talking to you about hope and change, you need to see through that and find what is their action plan. How are they going to take action? How have we taken action? Most of you that are on our email list wish that we weren't taking quite as much action. We have been in all corners of the district, and those of you that signed in and put your email down, you are too late. You're signed up, and you're going to find out the kind of action that's necessary in the United States of America to make a difference. We've taken youth going to the rescue mission a couple weeks ago. We've created Youth of Roanoke Valley. We adopted Wasina Park. We go in for park cleanups. David mentioned to you, we've been to the West End Center. Every week I have 2 or 3 events with young Democrats. Next week I'll be at James River speaking the whole day to the government flag. Why? Because young people vote? No, they sure don't. But they are the future, and we will not leave them in vain. We have a civic duty to include the next generation. So there's a lot I could talk to you about tonight, but I wanted to give you this one lesson that I have learned in my life of the difference between change and the rhetoric of change and the rhetoric of hope and what action is. So tonight, are you going to think about how wonderful the hors d'oeuvres were and how full that made you? Or are you going to think about the empty pit that's inside of you because you know the reality? You know what's happening. The income disparity, our national debt, our dollar is tanking. These lobbyists and special interests have taken control of your government. And do you know what? I'm not talking about what the Democrats are talking about. I'm talking to you about what Americans are worried about. 2 weeks ago, I met with a group of Ron Paul supporters who were Republicans, and immediately I was attacked by the far right, who said that he's a nut job, and the far left that said much worse. And I told them this is the type of thinking that is destroying America. I'm not meeting with Ron Paul. I'm meeting with people that are looking for good quality leadership. And for some reason, they found me on the internet and would like me to come and speak with them. Now, I don't know if you know how the 6th District lies, but you need a few Republican votes to win the 6th District. So please, we have to take our partisan caps off. We have to trade that in for people. We need to stand up for principles and leave profit behind. We need to make choices. These are choices that must be made now. Because the evolution of change that we need, the amount of action necessary to get to where we need to be for his future, will take us years, decades even. My America, the America I dream of, is 30 years from now, 50 years from now. It's not about the empty promises I'm going to make you and not keep them 2 years from now. We need to keep perspective. So I challenge you. Tomorrow is where the change needs to be. If you like Obama or Clinton, whoever your candidate may be, you need to start working tomorrow for change that makes a difference. Change that results in action. Join us, join me, join our movement as we travel around the 6th District and meet people. People that are looking for answers. Answers that can help us all.